We all know captions are important, but let's be real, most of them are just plain text, right? I make videos about creative people, which means I can have captions looking like they were made in Microsoft Word by someone on dial-up connection. So in this tutorial, we will break down the techniques I used in this video. Okay, the next tip is crucial. Click the mouse. I know, it is groundbreaking stuff, but we gotta cover the basics. As you can see, this video is made from the longer video, and in this tutorial I will show you how I make my captions and how you could improve yours. First of all, you need to transcribe the video. I already have transcribed it, but if you go to the text panel or window and text, there should be a big button like transcribe, like this one, but you will find it. It's not that hard. When you transcribe the video, it should look like that. The length of the text depends on your cuts. For example, if you have a lot of cuts in the video, those will be cut accordingly. If you have one big chunk of video, that won't be divided that much, and it will look different, closer to mine probably. So when you do that, you can go to the Captions tab and press Create Captions from Transcript. And here are my settings. I just basically select the single line and change everything to minimum. And you can just press Create Captions and wait a second. Okay, so now we have our captions. It looks like that. Not great, right? So I will select all of those, go to the Properties tab, and I will change the text to Montserrat. Extra bold. I like this font. I don't know why, but I just like it. So this font, let's move it to the middle. Font size, usually it's 66. It's just easy to type, 6 and 6. And honestly, if you are in massive rush or you just don't care that much, this is fine. You can stop here. Go outside, touch the grass. No one will be mad, your captions exist, good job. But if you, like me, have questionable priorities and maybe a little bit too much time, we can do better. Or at least we can do more. Shadows. Select everything and click this button. And poof, the shadow is gone. Call me the shadow hater, I don't care. They look like a cheap clip art from, I don't know, 1978. We can do better, people. Another thing, let's get rid of those commas and periods now. If you really care about grammar, don't look. It's okay here to break style rules and make text look maybe a little odd. So to do that, we can select all the text, go to the Text tab, search for comma, press Replace, keep it empty and replace all. And they are gone. Now let's type the period, it will find all the periods and replace all. Okay, now when we get rid of those things that we don't need, now we can start working on this. If you leave text like that, like this, it's quite good. No one will be angry at you. It's not that bad, but we can do better. Okay, let's take this scene where Antoine Fuqua saying that's something he just started doing. I think that's a great scene. When I work, I usually create a lot of duplicates because a lot of times I want to get back and to start from certain point, and that's annoying when you can't do that. I even do that with subtitles, with captions. So I create a new track. I select those from the scene that I am working, and I will move those to another track. Yeah, probably track. Okay, and I will disable those. And now I will select those that I will need, go to graphics and titles, and upgrade captions to graphic. Boom, we have them somewhere here. We probably have a lot of empty tracks, which would be smart to delete, but maybe another time. And here is our footage. So I will select this, press Alt, and move it here. So we will have the original footage and we will have a duplicate. Now select everything and brace yourself. We are going into After Effects. Remember to hydrate and maybe stretch a little bit. It looks like this. We have our footage and the pre-comped text, which is not great because if you go into the composition, it's somewhere here, but we don't know where, so it's very confusing. I would like to move those out of composition, and you can go copy and get back to the main composition, but that's a lot of work. And luckily, we have a plugin for that. I have this Motion Tools plugin, and this Motion Tools plugin is free. People, free. It saved me so many hours. Seriously, get it. And this plugin has this button. So if I select all the compositions and I will select this button, it exports it like WinRAR. I wonder if people know what WinRAR is. Okay, so it created the text and it created a lot of nulls. I want to delete those nulls, and you can select all of those nulls by pressing Ctrl or whatever you Apple users, I don't know, I use Ctrl. So you can select those and press delete, and that's all. But if you have a lot of nulls, sometimes you have a lot of, you can just type null and nothing happens because I was selected something. But if I get back, I will deselect all the layers and press null. Just type null, not press. Select all of those, delete, get out of the search, and that's it. So that's how I transfer the text to After Effects to work in there. First of all, I can go to the footage and I'll adjust the position a little bit. I need a little bit more dead space, like this is a great space for the text. I think we can even zoom in a little bit, scale in, and we have a lot of empty space where we could add our text. So we have all of this text, and we can select it all because we are going to use it all throughout the video. So I'll press Alt and right bracket, and it extends everything to the right. Yes, so I'll select the second text, move it down because everything is in one place. And we can do it like that. So now it appears one by one, and we have all the text here. Very awesome, right? I hope you know what anchor point is. For example, if I select the second text, in short, anchor point is an annoying thing, but it is very helpful. We have anchor point in here, and for example, if we scale the text, it scales from the anchor point. Same with rotation. If we rotate, it rotates around anchor point. It's very helpful for all kinds of animations, but if you place your anchor point in the wrong position, it sucks. It really sucks. It works. It's bad. So I'll select all the text and I will use, guess what? Motion Tools plugin. Did I mention Motion Tools is free? Because it is free. If you download one thing today, make sure it is. If you download two things, download it twice, just to be sure. And we can press this button and all the anchor points will be in the middle of the text. Amazing, right? And now if we scale something, it scales like that. But personally, I like to move those anchor points at the bottom of the text. So if I scale something, it scales from the bottom and it stays in the same position. Or sometimes I need to place it in even different position when I change the size of the text. So let's try to make something pretty, right? So select all of the text, move somewhere here, and maybe do something like that. Something he just started doing. Looks awful. I think started and doing it's kind of important words, so let's make started bigger. And now it scales. I don't like how it scales. I like the position of the text, but I don't like how it scales. So I'll move the anchor point to here, and now it scales differently. Nice. Better. Not perfect, but better. Doing. Maybe something like that. Something. I can make that very big. That seems like not important word. I move the anchor point here. I hope you got the idea how those anchor points work. That's something. He just started. Yeah, started a big text. Doing. Let's make this one bigger too. Doing. Okay. Now this text burns my eyes. It does. And maybe I will show you one more technique. When we have multiple words in those layers, for example, here we have 2 words, but sometimes we have 3 or 4. Premiere, transcription, and captions are not perfect, so they add a lot of fluff like that. But what I usually like to do, I go into the effects, and I do that by this extension, Video Copilot. I don't remember. Video Copilot FX Console. Video Copilot FX Console. I will leave a link, but so you can download it. It's also free. I like free stuff. What can I do? Let's search for typewriter. Typewriter. And let's add it here. If you press W, you can see that we have one. I'll move this up a little bit. You can see that we have a one keyframe and another one is somewhere very far away. So we can remove those keyframes and start from like 12. It doesn't matter where we start, just add a few keyframes, right? And the 1 and 100, let's say. It just creates the typewriter effect. But I don't want a typewriter effect, I want words appear word by word, not letter by letter. So we can go to animation, extend this, advanced, and here you can see based on characters. Let's change this to words and voila. He, maybe, let's move this a little bit there. So he just started. Nice, right? He just started doing. Very nice. So for longer phrases, I like to do that. It helps, it adds a little bit of motion. If After Effects looks intimidating, don't worry, it is. But stick with me. It's where the magic and the headaches truly happen. I don't think that this text looks very good. So let me play a little bit with this. And for full disclosure, I'm not a trained graphic designer, so a lot of my process involves moving stuff randomly until it feels right. It's very scientific, as you can see. Maybe something like that. What do you think? Now we can select everything and create the null for both. And guess what I will use? Motion Tools plugin. The null controls everything. I don't have the words for it. It helps a lot. A lot of times we can just take the null and move everything. We can scale it up. Whoa. Scale it up, I said, and scale it down. Everything keeps a proportion. So maybe started a little bit too big. I'm worried that it is too close to the border of the frame. Maybe this guy is a little bit. We can scale him down and move it here a little bit. And yeah, maybe like that. Ooh, make it bigger and stronger. Maybe it will be good. You can perfect it till your eyes bleed, but the text is way too bright. I don't know, it's too distracting. So we can hop into the text, select everything, and change the blending mode. There are many of those. I will choose the difference. No, difference doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Maybe overlay. Overlay is much better. It's better, I think. Yeah, so a little bit of movement. So how does it look? That's something he just started doing. That's something he just started doing. I think that's good. We can save it and everything will be in our Premiere composition. And if we would like to change or recreate something, we always have our captions. and we have our original footage. This is not necessary. Okay, so let's go through those. What else? This one is a little bit different. It has something in here. I have an idea, and let's do the same. Let's select those, duplicate, select graphic and titles. If you use something a lot in Premiere, I would recommend creating a shortcut. By default, this do not have a shortcut, but I created Alt-C. And if I press Alt-C, it creates the graphics from the captions. How amazing is that? Saving efficiency. That's efficiency. Okay. Maybe let's do it like that. Let's select that, right mouse button, and replace with After Effects composition. And guess what? I also have a shortcut for this. By default, it doesn't have, but Alt-C. No. Alt-A. Yeah, that's the trick. Okay, so same process. Let's select those, export, type null, delete. So he came up with the OCD. Now I would like to track the camera movement. We have this layer, right? And the text appears in here. And I would like to stick those to the video. What I mean is hard to explain, but when the camera moves, I would like to text move with the camera, basically. So let's try to do that. Let's select this, track, where is the track? Track and stabilize. Track camera, right. And it is doing some kind of calculations, and it should give an error. We will see. Yep, 3D camera tracker, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about that, just press create the camera. And it creates the new camera. I don't know how much in detail I would like to go, but let's expand this a little bit. And I think we need to expand more and make two views. So you can see this is our camera and this is the text, which is very plain. So we can make this text in 3D by pressing this cube button. So to press this cube button, now our text is in 3D. So when the camera moves, you can see this is the camera, I will select it, and the camera moves. Basically it was tracked. And now I would like to place this text in the positions where I want them to be. So I'll select all the text, and because they are in the same position right now, so he came, maybe it's a good place with the, maybe not a great place. And another thing, I will do what I did in the last video, Alt and right bracket, and that extends all the text to the end of the scene. So this text, maybe let's move it here, and maybe let's move it a little bit down, and maybe here. Okay, maybe we can move it here with the OCD. OCD is here. Came up with the OCD. It looks quite good. I think the text could be bigger, so we can scale it up like that. He came up with the OCD. It's not perfect. I see a little bit wiggling up and down. Not the greatest thing in the world, but also it's not terrible. The scene is really quick. It won't be super noticeable. And also I would like to make this text not that visible and to look like it is in the scene. So what we can do, we can change the blending mode to overlay. What do you think? Is it good? Maybe not super good. I don't like that moving up and down that much, but I'm afraid that to fix that might need a lot of work, so I'll just be patient. Maybe let's adjust the text position a little bit to see how it looks. He came up with the OCD. The OCD, move it here. And maybe the text is not that visible. There is a very similar mode, and it's not overlay but soft light. It's a little bit brighter with the OCD. Transcription was bad. OCD. What I just did, I don't know. Oh, OCD, let's scale it up, make it bigger, like it's very important. Okay, yeah, so maybe we could do one more thing. When the text becomes not that important, we can fade it out, basically. So we can use opacity and remove this. That's one way to do that. It slowly removes. We can also add another effect, Gaussian blur. Maybe there is another blur that would be better, but let's do Gaussian for now, right now. And let's have 0 blurriness, and here let's have something like more, something like that. And the text slowly disappears, and it looks better than just opacity. We can do that same thing with this text. We can just paste the keyframes. I think that's quite nice. Let's save it. Why make captions this complicated? Because good enough is for people with healthy sleep schedules and social lives. We are editors. We choose suffering. So now let's jump to another version where I made everything, and you can see how everything looks like. We spent way too much time on this tutorial, and other scenes I just show you really quickly, because that's basically the same thing. This scene, we have a split screen. I like split screens. I like that I can add a lot of information into one screen. And yeah, as you can see, captions, same principle. Everything moved to After Effects, and they are animated like I do, different sizes and things like that. I also added natively in Premiere with Director of Training Day. And the arrow, I used that arrow, I don't know, from Battle Elements or something like that. He came up with the OCD, the scene that we just created, so you know everything about that. That's something he just started doing. We worked on that, you know what is going here. Another thing, this one, also split screen. I have the graphic. That's just basically the where it is. Pen tool, just deselect everything and draw a line. And this is it creates the shape, and we disable fill, we enable stroke, and we can make the line just like that. Just make like that to make sure that it looks like it should look. Sometimes I add that line, sometimes I don't. I don't know. I like it here. I think it fits, but sometimes it doesn't matter that much. And here you can see a lot of action in the bottom part of the screen, where the scene actually happening, and he wanted a cup, so I showed an arrow to the cup. He wanted a napkin to the napkin, and the same technique. I thought I had a pay down here, but I don't. Okay, another, he just started doing same thing, just the text in the middle, and I just let the camera roll. I start capturing it, and here very similar thing to this one that we did before, that I did before actually. I didn't show you how I did. He just sitting there. I just added fade out that we created, I don't know, a minute ago, and Ethan started talking. I usually create the text that is more important, bigger, and the text like started. Ethan talking. Started is not important, so I made it very small, and I think that looks quite good. Another thing, the way he started, again, same thing that we did before, smiling and lean back, same technique, over and over again. Started to get comfortable. Here is a little bit different. Comfortable was a very long word, and if I added here, I needed to make it in a very small font, or it looked weird. I could mask the person sitting here and place it behind him. Maybe it would work, but I decided I will separate it and I will add it here. But let's check it out. But it doesn't look very good because his shirt was very colorful, and it doesn't look that, where is that, comfortable. It doesn't look very good. I'll make it white so you will see better. And I'll disable this. It wasn't very good. If I add the overlay or the difference blending mode, you can see in the difference it's almost unnoticeable overlay. There is something, maybe it's not that bad, but it's not very good. So I decided to mask, to create a shape layer, basically big shape layer. I added the mask on top and add a lot of feather. So because without the feather, you can see it has a very hard cut. If we add a feather, it's smoothing the thing out. And then when we have this, I just, you know how to check. Select this. Usually this disappears and we have this shape layer without the thing that this track match. It's harder to explain than it is. So this is how the scene looks like, and same thing. I just added Alonso in a little different font, something wild, something because it talks how Alonso is a crazy person and he's and that Alonso, I wanted to make it in a different font. I don't know why. I don't know if that's a good choice, but I did it. I'm quite happy about it. Maybe I could make more experiments and see how it looks, but those reels, it takes quite a lot of to make reel like that, and usually you don't want to spend that much time on the reels. So it's quite hard to find that balance between the time spent on the reel and the quality you want to achieve, because you can spend a lot of time on those, and maybe it's not worth it. So that's another thing. And that's how you do it. Now your captions will pop, sizzle, and induce mild seizures. Use this power responsibly. Or don't. I don't care. I'm not your boss. Go nuts. Bye.